What up, B-words? New filming location just dropped. What do we think? I chose this one because the lighting is significantly better. I have literally one window in this room. So a while ago, I got this idea to compile a very large list of movies that I heard other people talk about, that I heard other people say were good. Just a whole list of suggestions from other people into a big movie list. Because the thing is, I really don't watch that many movies. I'm very much like a YouTube girly, so that's pretty much all I watch. I watch Smosh compilations and Fundy Fridays and Funky Frog Bait and literally like nothing else. So I was not a seasoned professional, okay, when it came to media and movie specific literature. I guess not literature, because it's a movie, videography, you know what I mean. Well, I basically decided that I was gonna sit down and start watching the movies on this big compiled list. One of the first movies that I watched was Clueless, but I didn't actually write this video about that movie, unfortunately, because that was actually a pretty good movie. The second movie that I watched from this big list was 16 Candles. And y'all, this movie was so bad. It was just about one of the worst movies I've ever watched. And so, like 10 minutes in, I just start writing this Freudian-esque continuous thought, this long thought, this free association. Now when I look at it, it looks a little bit like hieroglyphs on a wall, and I'm not sure what I was exactly trying to say, but I got the idea to make a video based on what I wrote. And I would like to call it a unhinged synopsis of 16 Candles, and state that I did watch it, so you don't have to, because it was, quite frankly, it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and I'm trying to save you. This is me trying to save you. To begin, we start with this family. I'm gonna be real, I don't remember their last names, but there's so many damn kids that you would think they were a Quiverful family. First, we see like a scene of this little itty bitty boy. It's the main character's little brother. He literally just serves as a purpose to be icky. Hate him. The main character walks down the stairs and she looks like a 2014 hipster. I forgot to mention, she literally, her whole family forgot her birthday. That's basically the entire plot. Her whole family forgot her birthday. I did put that I wish I could body hair like this short hair like Molly Ringwald. She really does a great job. The best friend has an incredibly powerful mullet, but she is very unsupportive of Molly Ringwald's character, who I can't remember the name of. I think it's Sam. There is this form that all the children have to fill out in school, and it is like, who would you sleep with? Very weird. Why would you give that to children? That is such a creepy form to give to kids. Very unnecessary. And also, she, after being asked this question on this form, looks back at the guy that she likes and is going to put down for an absurdly long amount of time. He also sees her do this. So it's not exactly if she's being like inconspicuous. She's just like, for like an entire minute and a half. She puts him on the form or whatever and she drops it. Okay, he picks it up, he finds it. Her friend with the powerful mullet is madly unsupportive of her, and she's like, you're never gonna be with this guy because he's with this hottie over here named Caroline. Sam says that if he ever finds this note, which we as the audience already know that he has found this note, she would shit twice and die, which I really love that, and I now wish to incorporate it into my vocabulary. I think that that was a cool phrase to use. The man that she wrote down that she has a crush on, I'm pretty sure this is what I wrote was referencing. He looks old enough to be my father. He looks quite old to be a high school child. But you know, that's just how movies were made in the 80s. I also did not expect to fully see a woman's bare breasts in this movie, but I did. I don't even know if we were 15 minutes in. And I will say also, the dialogue in this movie, incredibly unnatural. Like, things that you would never ever say to someone came out of people's mouths. It was very bizarre. There was an accurate representation of the bus as one of the worst places that a child could be, which I feel like is pretty accurate as a former bus rider. Whenever I saw Farmer Ted, sit next to Sam, I was like, get away from her, you prepubescent lemur. There was a girl sitting across from them in this scene who had a crutch. It looked as if she had been injured. I actually was so rooting for her and like so ready for her to take her crutch and just beat the fuck out of Farmer Ted. Unfortunately, she doesn't do this. Instead, she was, as I quote, used as a skit to enact era expected ableism. So that was kind of disappointing. Sam gets home and her parents have basically stored her grandparents in her room on her birthday. The reason her grandparents have all come over is because her sister is getting married literally like the day after her birthday. Not sure why everyone forgot about her birthday. I feel like that would, if anything, indicate to everyone that it should be remembered, but it isn't. So the lack of boundaries and obsession with boobies is freaking me out. I did write that down because there is an obsession with boobies in this movie, and it's very terrifying and scary. This movie was very racist. I think that is... There's a lot of things about this movie. Let me just say, there's a lot of things about this movie that are just genuinely bad. The racism, off the fucking charts. It was crazy. There was so much racism. So they do introduce, I guess Sam's grandparents are taking care of this international student. He's Asian. Don't think they ever say where the fuck he is from. They do say that his name is Long. I'm just going to call him Long. His entire name is very goofy and racist. So, the sister's cadence is bonkers. This girl's sister talked like, if you all have ever seen that like one Tropicana commercial that was like making fun of the Brady Bunch, that's how she talked. I put OMG, this family are bitches to this poor exchange student. There was a meme song that started playing directly after prepubescent lemur started stalking our main character, whose name I forgot. I did forget a lot of names in this movie. They introduced like 500 characters and are like, please keep everyone's name in mind. I'm not doing that. This one kid, he went by Ted, but I called him prepubescent lemur throughout pretty much this entire script. So the guy that Sam had a crush on basically is questioning his entire relationship with Caroline that he's been in for God knows how long, because Sam wrote on a piece of paper that she wanted to sleep with him. I really was tired of prepubescent lemur at this point. He was really pissing me off. He was another reason that this movie was just ass and sucked, because he basically just stalked Sam around like this entire movie and was like, give me your panties. Why did he want to do that? I don't know. So at this dance that they all go to, Farmer Ted starts doing this, what I could only describe as a possible mating dance. It works very terribly. I'm pretty sure Sam walks away in the middle of it. There are unnecessary tech terms thrown around when he goes back to his friends to show that they are nerds. That is the only way that that could be communicated to us. After Sam runs away to go punch the wall and basically have like a main character moment because she sees her crush dancing with another girl. I'm not sure why this is surprising. We already know that he has a girlfriend. We get this sort of cute like talk between her and prepubescent lemur. Unfortunately, this does lead to her giving him her pair of panties because... Sorry if the positioning changed at all. My mom randomly asked me who my middle school art teacher was. But anyways, there's like this cute chat between Ted and Sam, who I almost want to call Claire because that was, of course, her character in The Breakfast Club, which is significantly better than this movie, even though it's not perfect. This unfortunately ends in him getting a pair of her underoonies because she basically offered to give them to him if he could be her wingman with the guy she has a crush on. There is a cameo of the injured, possibly disabled girl dancing with another girl. OMG lesbians. They're dancing and they're both girls. That's what I wrote about that scene. I just thought that was cute. There is a very long scene that I think is it's supposed to be played for laughs, but honestly it made me think about how inaccessible water fountains were, where she basically has to like struggle to get down to get water out of the water fountain. Before we pick up where we left off for Long, who is the exchange student that Sam's evil parents made her drag to the dance with her, God bless him, we see him basically motorboating a much taller girl. Okay, that's a choice. I found out at this point that the friend's name was Randy. I literally don't think that's been mentioned, and this movie was like half over at this point, though it did feel like 3 hours long to me. I had to watch it over the course of 2 days because it really was just terrible. Right, right. OMG, the lemur will not stop. This is making me actually hate this movie. Got it, got it, got it. Why is he climbing her? I have no idea what this was in reference to. I want to say that I think it was in reference to Long being made to climb his tall girlfriend. Samantha soft launches telling Jake she likes him while her grandparents torture Long by forcing him back into the gym. This should be a violation of the Geneva Convention. I am almost absolutely sure that is what was happening. I do kind of do a double take when I look back just because of what happens with Long later in the movie, which we'll get to. Sam gave her panties to Ted. This is truly rock bottom for her. Every man in this movie is why I would choose the bear. I feel like that would be like my one sentence IMBD of this movie. So basically after the party, Long gets super wasted and drunk and crashes into these people's car and basically, yeah, parks like right on top of it. But they don't care. They're too busy getting nasty. Meanwhile, Jake looks up Samantha's picture in the yearbook where she's unfortunately gaping like a dumb idiot. Rip to her. She really does look terrible in this yearbook picture. Bad news, everyone. The lemur is here. The lemur shows up to the party with all of his nerd friends, and basically they do unfortunately get called the F-slur. Jake tries to call Sam, but her fuck-ass grandparents keep answering the phone, and Jake's actual girlfriend tries to find him at the party, but he tells her to leave him alone and ends up shutting her hair in the door in the process. So unfortunately Caroline is just sat on the floor with her hair in the door. Jake's girlfriend's girlfriend, so her girlfriend, cuts her hair out of the door because she is also unfortunately wasted, and this is the only solution her drunk mind can capitulate. And it's truly awful, but she's grateful to be free. Long and his new girlfriend accidentally destroy the house. They do unfortunately fall through the entire floor into the wine cellar. And the party was promptly over after that. We do see the lemur. We get this hilarious shot of him, the lemur, in the glass table. At first I was like, is there some magic involved in this movie? And this is gonna be like the table came to life. Like, I was very confused, but no, when we zoomed in on his face, you could tell that it was unfortunately the lemur. Sam's dad comes down when she is gone home for the night and comforts her because he realizes that it is in fact her birthday and everyone forgot. This scene made me kind of emotional because I do unfortunately have daddy issues. The lemur has been freed from his glass prison by Jake, Sam's crush. And him and Jake are having a heart-to-heart where Jake admits that he would violate his drunk and passed out girlfriend a million different ways. Real stand-up guy that Sam chose to have a crush on. Jake proceeds to let the prepubescent lemur take his drunk girlfriend home. By the way, he has no license and is an incredible pervert. This is when Long jumps down from a tree in Jake's yard and attacks Jake via guerrilla warfare. It's what he deserves. I didn't mention it earlier because I didn't think it was that relevant, but Ted also brought his geek friends to the party and blamed them for wrecking these frat guys' beer can wall. And then these frat guys promptly kidnapped them both, I guess, and ditched them in the middle of nowhere with like headlights on because for some reason they wore those to the party, and I think they were like in their underwear. So after this, Ted is driving Caroline home, but she won't stop distracting him while driving, as she's super wasted and at one point feeds him a birth control pill pretending it's a breath mint. After this, it's implied that she gives him fellatio, as she has been tricked into thinking he's Jake, and that she is shit-faced. This is assault that is unfortunately played for laughs in this movie. Post this, Ted takes her to his geek friend's house where he tries to get them to take pictures of him with her while she is passed out. Just as creepy as it sounds. Meanwhile, Samantha's folks are getting ready for her sister's wedding. Her mother apologizes about her birthday, and her little shit brother finds out he forgot her birthday, and he don't gaff. Randy spills the beans about Sam's underwear being presented to the whole school like a science project, and she screams unnecessarily loud about it. The whole family squeezes into two cars like a bunch of clowns, and I'm distracted by this weird song in the background about stinky vagabonds. Then they see Long on the lawn as they back out and start throwing hissies. They discover Long is drunk as hell and crashed Grandpa's car, so Grandma assaults him violently by kicking him. I just think this is whack because they were the ones who convinced Long he should go out in the first place, right? Like, were they not the ones who were keeping Long into the gym as he tried to get out? Or was I not seeing straight? This movie is not helping me with context at all. Ted and Caroline wake up in the parking lot across the street from her church when he asks if they had sex. For some reason, he's acting like he doesn't remember this, but I don't recall him being drunk. They try and make this okay by them both saying that they enjoyed it. This does not make it okay. It's still really upsetting. Sam, her mom, and her sisters pull up to the venue. The woman there says she worried that they had been in an accident, and Sam's sister is pissed the hell off because she's on her period on her wedding day. Very valid. Sam rubs her sister's feet while her mom forcibly feeds Ginny tea. This is her sister's name. She's acting weird, and I think this is because she took like 4 muscle relaxers, but I also don't think that's how muscle relaxers work. Sam's crush knocks on the door at Sam's house. Of course she isn't there because they're at her sister's wedding. Long opens the door and gets scared and closes it after realizing it's Sam's crush, who beat his ass. Valid reaction. There's a racially targeted gong sound again for no reason. And Long opens the door again to mistakenly tell Sam's crush that she's at the church getting married when really it's her sister. This has no bearing on the plot. You would think that it was like some sort of mistake and Jake is gonna like rush to the venue and be like, oh my god, Sam, don't get married, I love you. I just decided I loved you after seeing your note about how you wanted to sleep with me. But instead, this has literally no bearing on the plot whatsoever. I guess Ginny is high as a kite on muscle relaxers, or that's what they're trying to portray, even though again that's really not how muscle relaxers work. You will not be high as a kite if you take more than one. Because she passes out, then acts like she's on bath salts all the way down the aisle. She basically has to be weekended at Bernie's all the way to the altar. Just before this, they basically announced to the whole venue that she's on her period, which I'm sure is a HIPAA violation. Lemur and Caroline end up kind of having a moment. I'm not sure how I feel about this relationship being played out, but I digress. Jake drives by and sees them share a kiss. For some reason, he seems upset by this, even though he's been a shoo-in for Sam the last half hour of this godforsaken cinematic disaster. Caroline and Jake have a very mutual breakup. Maybe one of the best things that happened in this movie. Then we see Ginny basically stripping out of her wedding garb and trying to take a nap on the concrete church stairs because she's high on muscle relaxers. Sam runs into the woman from earlier in the church and gives her an explanation for why she's in there. This lady really don't gaff. When she walks out, her sister is already gone, and Jake is crossing the street waiting for her. He comes up to talk with her, and she basically decides to split her sister's wedding reception to go hang out with this guy. Very male-centered of her. Her dad, for some reason, sanctions this. It was the 80s. Then we see Jake and Sam sat in front of a birthday cake as he tells her happy birthday, and he tells her to make a wish. But she says, it already came true. This movie was ass from start to finish. I don't really have much else to say other than the IMDb rating. Don't look it up because it made me really mad. It made me lose my faith in movie critics everywhere. Surely even I, as a non-experienced movie watcher, could tell you that this movie is ass and it sucks. Like, it's not even just that I'm trying to be like super woke or whatever by being like, oh, these assault and racism jokes are not funny. They're just not funny. They're not funny. And then also, in addition to this, like, I feel like, not that I should overlook any of those things, but I feel like in some cases you watch a movie and there's like a joke that's kind of like suspicious, but you can kind of overlook it because the plot is really good. An example of this is actually the other movie that Molly Ringwald was in, The Breakfast Club. Yes, Club. Breakfast Club. Where there's some like jokes and stuff in there that are said that I'm like, but the plot of the movie is so good that you are kind of like, okay, I can be like, that was of its time, right? I can accept that. Unfortunately, like, the offensiveness of some of these things that happen in this movie, that take place in this movie, is so pervasive that there's really no escaping it. Like, it really is, it taints the entire thing from start to finish. It's just awful. Also, Jake's parents' house got completely destroyed. And he's not even worried about that at all. He's too busy worried about chasing Sam down because she said she wanted to sleep with him on a little form that they should have never been made to fill out because they're literally underage kids. What the fuck? I just really don't appreciate this movie. And I think it's a pretty rough start, honestly. my movie watching experience. Anyways, I watched it all, so you don't have to. Please don't watch this movie. I would not watch this movie, again, if given the chance. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video, this unhinged synopsis. I will tell you I've already watched My Girl, so you can expect that video in the near future. And I did watch Steel Magnolias too, which is on the list, but I kind of want to keep that like clue, and I kind of want to keep that one to myself, so I don't know. Let me know if you want me to rewatch it and take some notes on it. I hope that this is enjoyable, because I really would like to make this a series that is like enjoyable, entertaining, whatever. Anyways, hope you have a good day. Thank you for watching. If you liked, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you later.